Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If you'd like to come up closer, the sun is still shining very close to the podium. Terrific. What a gorgeous day to be here in Bridgewater. Terrific. So glad you're all here today. Good morning, Jalasi. I'd like to start by welcoming everyone here today to the town of Bridgewater. My name is Donna Hatt, and I'm the Economic Development Officer for the town of Bridgewater. And it's actually our 125th anniversary year this year, so thrilled to have you all here today. Exactly. This morning we are joined by many special guests, and I'd like to welcome the Honourable Steven Guilbeault, Minister of Environment and Climate Change Canada, Deputy Mayor of Colchester and Federation of Canadian Municipalities First Vice President Geoff Stewart, and Clean Foundation's President and CEO Scott Skinner. And I'd like to welcome representatives from the town of Bridgewater, including Councillor Wayne Thorburn. I think I see you there. The municipality of the District of Lunenburg, Mayor Carolyn Bolivar-Getson, with their respective members, council members, and of course our guests joining us from the municipalities from around the province. I also want to welcome today and thank homeowners, Rita Landgraf and Ross Brunel, where are you? There you are. Whose home you see behind me here today. Rita and Ross recently had their home upgraded with solar panels with support from the Clean Energy Financing Program. Thank you both for being a part of this morning's initiative and announcement. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered here today in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. But more importantly, we're even here along the riverbanks of Benejawaska, which is the Mi'kmaq name for the LaHave River. We acknowledge and recognize our relationship is based on the treaties of peace and friendship, and at the town of Bridgewater, we are committed to doing our parts towards truth and reconciliation. To share more details about why we are actually here today, I'd like to welcome the Honourable Steven Guilbeault, Minister of Environment and Climate Change, to say a few words. Minister?
Thank you very much, Donna, for the warm introduction. Thank you all for being here. I'm very happy to be with you today. On behalf of my friend and colleague, Minister Jonathan Wilkinson, Minister of Natural Resources and Energy. Before we begin, I would also like to acknowledge that we are in the traditional Mi'kmaq territory. And I'm very happy to see so many representatives from the towns of Bridgewater, Lunenburg, and New Glasgow, as well as Scott Skinner, President and CEO of the Clean Foundation, and other members of the community for this important announcement. La lutte contre les changements climatiques reste l'un des plus grands défis de notre génération. Et dans le contexte de l'économie post-pandémique, la population canadienne doit relever de nouveaux défis. Not only has the way we live and work fundamentally shifted, right now we're being impacted by higher cost of living. Sometimes people will try to separate the two, that we need to focus on one thing or the other, the rising cost of living or climate action. But those who believe that fail to see the fundamental truth, that taking climate action lowers our cost of living. Clean and efficient energy is not only an essential part of lowering our carbon footprint, but it also helps Canadians save money. And Canadians know this. But many residents faced initial barriers in being able to afford energy upgrades. That's why our government supports clean energy programs across the country. The Green Municipal Fund's community efficiency financing has played a significant role in supporting communities and helping to improve their energy efficiency. Today, I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada, in partnership with the Canadian Federation of Municipalities, is making an additional investment of $9.5 million in the form of grants and loans, specifically aimed at expanding the Clean Foundation's clean energy financing program to more municipalities in Nova Scotia. Donc, au nom de mon collègue, le ministre Wilkinson, j'ai le plaisir d'annoncer que le gouvernement du Canada, en partenariat avec la Fédération canadienne des municipalités, investira 9,5 millions de dollars additionnels sous forme de subventions et de prêts, visant spécifiquement à étendre le programme de financement de l'énergie propre de la Clean Foundation à un plus grand nombre de municipalités en Nouvelle-Écosse. It all started with Bridgewater as one of the founding participants, and now we're pleased to see the program expand across more municipalities in Nova Scotia. This is an important program that helps municipalities provide low-interest financing to qualifying homeowners interested in undertaking clean energy updates. Ce programme de prêt à faible taux d'intérêt permet non seulement aux municipalités de trouver de nouveaux moyens d'aider les propriétaires à améliorer leur efficacité énergétique, mais stimule également le marché de l'emploi sur le plan local et l'économie. L'investissement du gouvernement du Canada en Nouvelle-Écosse s'inscrit dans le cadre de sa stratégie globale de rénovation pour les maisons éco-énergétiques afin d'aider la population à économiser de l'argent et à préserver l'environnement. We recently announced the strengthening of our oil-to-heat pump affordability program, where low to medium income households in Nova Scotia with heating oil can now apply to receive up to $30,000 to cover the full cost of switching to a heat pump. This is in partnership with the Provincial Efficiency One program. In addition, Canadians who apply for the oil-to-heat pump switch will soon be receiving up front one payment of $250 from the federal government. And Bridgewater has done a commendable job of helping people save money and live more comfortably through its many programs like Energize Bridgewater Home Upgrades program. Through these programs, Nova Scotia homeowners can access investments for energy efficiency home improvement like insulating for ceilings, floors and walls, heat pumps, electric vehicle charging stations, and the installation of solar panels as the one we see behind us. Approximately 500 households will be able to access funding to improve their homes, which is expected to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 1,600 tons, the equivalent of more than 11 million kilometers of driving, while saving hundreds of dollars per house in energy cost. Municipalities influence half of Canada's greenhouse gas emissions, so we cannot reach our climate objectives without engaging municipalities. We cannot do this without your partnership. This day, you don't have to be a scientist to know that climate change is on our doorstep, and know that affordability is front of mind for many Canadians. Home improvements such as these are win-win. They cut both pollution and household energy cost. I encourage Nova Scotians to look into this exciting new program and start saving on your energy bills. Let's continue building a healthier, safer, and more affordable future for our kids and grandkids. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you so very much, Minister Guilbeault. What an exciting day for all of us, for sure, and certainly here in Bridgewater, it means a great deal. Now I'd like to welcome Deputy Mayor of Colchester and Federation of Canadian Municipalities First Vice President Geoff Stewart to welcome all of us and to come forward and tell us more about how this funding will help support energy efficiency upgrades.
Thank you, Donna. As mentioned, my name is Geoff Stewart, Deputy Mayor of the Municipality of County of Colchester, and today I'm representing the Federation of Canadian Municipalities as the First Vice President. Municipalities have an essential role to play to advance towards greater sustainability, as they have influence over half of Canada's greenhouse emissions. However, they face financial constraints. That's why FCM's Green Municipal Fund, or GMF, is vital to help municipalities transition to a more sustainable practices sooner. Since its inception in 2001, Green Municipal Fund has been successful at supporting thousands of green initiatives by municipalities and their local partners. GMF provides a unique mix of funding and capacity building to accelerate transformation to resilient net zero communities in Canada. For over 20 years, more than 2,100 sustainability projects worth $1.45 billion have been approved, resulting in reducing greenhouse gas emissions by nearly 3 million tons and boosting the national GDP by $1.2 billion. And GMF is committed to continuing its good work and help municipalities upgrade their infrastructure, meet their local climate objectives, and contribute to a net zero Canada by 2050. Today's announcement here in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, is further proof of that. Through the Green Municipal Fund, we're announcing today an investment of $9.5 million to support the Clean Foundation's expansion of its clean energy financing program. This expansion means that to move forward with important home energy upgrades, residents and communities in Nova Scotia will have access to improved services such as reduced participation fees, enhanced marketing, home energy analysis more effectively conducted, and a new greenhouse gas reduction incentive created to encourage deep retrofits. Upgrades residents can make include the insulation for ceilings, floors and walls, heat pumps, electrical vehicle charging stations, and the installation of solar panels. Upgrades can lead to a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions of over 1,600 tons of CO2 per year and save the equivalent energy use of about 200 homes per year. None of this would be possible without the $1.65 billion endowment by the Government of Canada to the Green Municipal Fund. So thank you to our federal partners represented today by the Honourable Steven Guilbeault, Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Thank you. Together, we are moving towards a greener future, and we are doing so with all orders of government and partners. And it is only by working together that we can effectively ensure a sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come. Thank you, and I'll now turn the floor back to Donna. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Stewart. Now, we're going to bring it even closer to home here to share more about Clean Foundation and how this funding directly supports homeowners. Please welcome Clean's President and CEO, Scott Skinner.
Thank you, Donna. It's great to be here today in the town of Bridgewater, our great partners. They were one of the first municipalities to come on board with the Clean Energy Financing Program, and the community continues to do a lot to help the program succeed. Our focus at the Clean Foundation is to bring specialized teams together to work on complex climate action problems throughout Nova Scotia, PEI, and Atlantic Canada. One of those challenges we try to address is how to help homeowners make energy efficiency upgrades into their homes. Our Clean Energy Financing Program, which has been expanded through funding through Natural Resources Canada, the FCM, allows us to help participating municipalities in Nova Scotia offer low-interest financing to residents for home energy upgrades like we've heard already, heat pumps, insulation, solar, and like what you see with Rita and Ross's home behind me. The program began in 2016 with 4 municipalities and has since grown. Thanks to the continued investment of the Government of Canada through the FCM, there are now 9 municipalities participating, covering the province from the District of Lunenburg to the tip of Inverness County in Nova Scotia and Cape Breton. Depending on the municipality, homeowners can access anywhere between $10,000 and $40,000 for their energy efficiency home upgrades. The continued funding of the clean energy financing means that more homeowners and municipalities throughout the province have access for opportunities for economical and energy efficiency solutions for their homes. We have heard the stories of the direct impact it makes on the lives of homeowners, especially when they can see the difference in their home energy bills at this very important time for affordability. Thank you again to Natural Resources Canada, the FCM, for your investment. It has directly helped our program to grow and help even more Nova Scotian homeowners save money on their energy bills. To Minister Guilbeault and Deputy Mayor Stewart, thank you for being here today. And Rita and Ross in the town of Bridgewater, thank you for your hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and certainly for being here with us today. Indeed, the town of Bridgewater, through Energize Bridgewater, is one of 9 municipalities whose homeowners are benefiting from participating in this clean energy financing program. Locally here, 39 homeowners like Rita and Ross to date have taken advantage of about $800,000 worth of retrofits, with another 18 in progress. Realizing on average an energy savings of $2,000 per year, each household is also reducing their greenhouse gas emissions by 4 tons per year. Their homes are becoming more comfortable. They are reducing their impact on the environment. And as I was speaking with Ross and Rita earlier today, they're reducing their fossil fuel consumption. So congratulations to you. Clean energy financing, as a part of our broader Energize Bridgewater initiative, provides our community with a powerful tool in our efforts towards ending energy poverty for our residents. Additionally, it spurs the local economy with green jobs, and I'm referencing the contractors, the technicians, and the service providers who are here locally in our community who are benefiting from working side by side with our community homeowners to make these retrofits possible. So it is a part of the economic activity within our community. So thank you, in addition to our clean efforts. It's been our experience here in Bridgewater that programs like this one, the Clean Energy Financing Program, helps Canadians, and more specifically, residents, to be part of our own Town of Bridgewater emission reduction effort. It has to start here first as we embark on our journey towards 2050. This is happening at a local and a very personal level, as it has for Rita and Ross. I love it when Ross whips out his phone and says, check it out. See what's happening with my solar panels? So I appreciate that, and I never thought I'd see you do that. Congrats. We're changing the conversation, and we're making it a part of the conversation, which is ultimately the most desirable. Collectively, we will contribute to the collective efforts of Canadians. In closing, again, thank you, Minister Guilbeault, Deputy Mayor Stewart, and our provincial partner, Scott Skinner, and your team at Clean Foundation for being part of today's announcement, but most importantly, a part of our community. Again, we extend our thanks to Rita and Ross for hosting us outside their home on this beautiful sunny day. Thank you for ordering that. And thank you for having us. I know that along with all of you, we will share our insights and we'll carry it forward, not only here across the municipalities in the province of Nova Scotia, but across Canada. There are things that we are learning here and technologies that we're testing here that we are more than comfortable and aspire to share them with others so that we can learn together and grow together. That concludes the official component of today. We're now welcoming questions from the media.
Thank you, Donna. I would like to turn the floor to media. If you have any questions, I will be going around with a mic, so just put your hand up. Okay. So just state your name and your media and who the question is for.
Hi, Edwin Blanc with Radio Canada. The question is for Minister Guilbeault. Monsieur le ministre, pourquoi est-ce que votre gouvernement ne veut pas écouter les provinces qui réclament qu'on reporte l'accroissement de la taxe carbone en avril?
Ben, pour plusieurs raisons. D'abord, s'il y a bien une région au pays qui a subi les impacts des changements climatiques, c'est la Nouvelle-Écosse. On a vu l'été dernier des feux de forêt historiques, des inondations historiques, des épisodes de froid historiques. On a des tempêtes tropicales de plus en plus puissantes sur la côte Est et partout à travers la planète. Vous savez que l'an passé, c'est la première fois dans l'histoire de l'humanité qu'on a eu dans les 5 bassins océanographiques simultanément des tempêtes de catégorie 5. On n'a jamais vu ça dans l'histoire de la planète. Alors, les changements climatiques ne vont pas attendre qui que ce soit. Et plus nous augmentons notre pollution, plus il va y avoir d'impact des changements climatiques. Alors, c'est pourquoi nous continuons d'aller de l'avant avec nos différentes mesures pour lutter contre les changements climatiques. Et honnêtement, je veux dire, ceux qui voudraient que l'on mette sur pause la tarification carbone doivent absolument nous présenter quelle est l'alternative. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Parce que c'est la meilleure mesure pour lutter contre les changements climatiques. C'est 1/3 de nos réductions d'émissions de gaz à effet de serre d'ici 2030 qui va venir de la tarification carbone. Et en plus, 8 ménages sur 10, et ça, les premiers ministres n'en parlent jamais, et Pierre Poilievre non plus d'ailleurs, 8 personnes sur 10, où la tarification carbone s'applique, reçoivent plus du gouvernement fédéral que ce que leur en coûte la tarification carbone. Alors, ce que ces premiers ministres-là nous demandent de faire dans une période de difficulté par rapport à l'abordabilité, c'est d'enlever de l'argent aux gens. Donc, c'est ni bon pour l'environnement, c'est ni bon pour la population.
Et n'avez-vous pas besoin de la collaboration des provinces pour continuer vers cet objectif?
Ben, dans un monde idéal, j'aimerais pouvoir travailler en collaboration avec les provinces et on le fait régulièrement. On le fait avec la Nouvelle-Écosse, par exemple, sur l'électricité, où nous nous sommes entendus ensemble pour éliminer l'électricité faite à partir du charbon, produite à partir du charbon ici d'ici 2030. Le gouvernement fédéral investit des dizaines de milliards de dollars pour accompagner les provinces dans cette transition énergétique-là. Nous travaillons ensemble sur l'adaptation au changement climatique. Nous travaillons ensemble sur l'électrification des transports. Mais il y a des choses sur lesquelles on ne s'entend pas. Mais mon mandat et ce que le premier ministre m'a demandé de faire, c'est très clair, c'est d'accélérer la lutte au changement climatique. Et c'est exactement ce que je fais.
Vous pouvez juste répéter en anglais sur cet aspect de collaboration avec les provinces qui ne veulent pas continuer la baisse carbone?
Well, I mean, those premiers who say that we should pause the carbon pricing in Canada need to understand that climate change and the impacts of climate change aren't going on pause. And the more we pollute, the more we will suffer the impacts of climate change. And if there's a region in this country that has seen impacts of climate change, it's Nova Scotia. Worst forest fire in the history of the province last year. Worst floodings. We're seeing storm surges like we've never seen before in this province and across the country. I mean, last year, for the first time in the history of the planet, we had Category 5 hurricanes in all 5 ocean basins of the world. We've never seen that before. And those who say that we should pause the price on pollution will never talk about the fact that it is the most effective measure to fight climate change. So if we pause that, what else are we going to do to cut pollution by a third by 2030? I've been working on climate change for 30 years. That's all I've done as an adult. And measures that can help us achieve a third of our 2030 objective that are lying around here, low-hanging fruits, they don't exist. It's simply not true. And those premiers never talk, including Pierre Poilievre, never talk about the fact that 8 out of 10 Canadians who pay carbon pricing in the province that are subjected to the federal system receive more money than what they pay back. So what they want us to do is they want us to get rid of the most effective measure to fight climate change, and they want to take us money away from people at a time of affordability. That makes absolutely no sense.
Merci. Question Justin. Zach Howell with Global News. What do you make of premiers who are of the Liberal? I think of Newfoundland and Labrador, and even opposition, Nova Scotia, have both called on you to at least pause this carbon tax.
I would answer them the same thing I've answered previously. I mean, whether you're a Liberal premier, whether you're a Conservative premier, the reality of climate change won't change. The fact that we are seeing more and more the impacts of climate change. You want to talk about cost to Canadians? The impacts of climate change is costing Canadians 10 times more now than it did 10 years ago. It was about $200 million per year about a decade ago. It's $2 billion per year. We're all paying for that. Like, it's not on our energy bill, and you don't see it every day or every month on your energy bill, but it's there. We are paying, and the more we pollute, the higher that cost will go. And you know, we're talking about economic costs, but last year we had to evacuate the capital of one of our territories because of forest fires. We had to send, for the first time in the history of Canada, we had 4 provinces who asked for the help of the Canadian Armed Forces in one summer to fight forest fires. We've never seen that before in the history of Canada. So those premiers who say we should pause this need to tell us what they're doing and what we should be doing to fight climate change that will achieve the same results at the same cost. And I've been doing that for 30 years, and it doesn't exist. Simply doesn't.
I mean, in fairness to Newfoundland and Labrador switching to green energy, but that's beyond the point in Muskrat Falls. What would you say to small independent cab drivers or tow truck drivers or truckers who rely on fuels such as diesel and gasoline that now their prices are going up?
Well, I'd say a couple of things. I mean, we have incentive programs to help many of them transition to electric vehicles, and many of them are doing it, while at the same time working with our partners in the United States to ensure that internal combustion engines that are still being used are more and more efficient, so that they don't have to pay as much for gasoline. But the reality is that we have no control over the price of the price of gasoline. The increase on the price of carbon pollution will be 3 cents a liter starting April 1st. In the last 2 years, between 2019 and 2021, refining margins in Canada went up by more than 20 cents. It's funny that the premiers never talk about that. They really want to talk about the 3 cents of relating to carbon pricings, but we'll never talk about the fact that there's price gouging happening by refineries in Canada. That is worth 7 times the price on pollution. If they should be outraged about something, let them be outraged about that. Never hear them or Pierre Poilievre talk about that. I find that quite interesting.
Thank you. Merci. Any more questions from the audience? Thank you.
And Minister Keith Corcoran from Lighthouse Now. Actually, I'm just going to go back to my friend there from Radio Canada. I think he asked a question in French that was answered in French that may not have been translated to English. For the Anglos in the audience, perhaps that could be repeated first.
Can you remind me what the question was?
And that's why I'm an Anglo. So there you go. My question, Minister, is what problem is fixed with today's announcement?
Well, what we're doing is continuing to support our partners in municipalities and organizations like the Clean Foundation in Nova Scotia to continue helping homeowners both fight pollution by helping them to have more efficient homes, install solar panels, heat pumps, more insulation, go towards EVs, so fight climate change and reduce their energy bills at the same time. It's a win-win. You're fighting pollution and you're helping people save money on their energy bill. As we've heard from Donna and others as well, like the programs that the City of Bridgewater is putting in place will help people save $2,000 per year on their energy bill, and that's ongoing. It's not $2,000 this year and then it's gone the next year and the year after that. So there are multiple benefits to doing what we're doing, which is why the federal government is very happy to be here, continuing and increasing our support to our partners like the City of Bridgewater and so many others across the province.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh. One last one.
Juste une dernière question en français. Vous l'avez un peu abordé en anglais, mais il y a aussi la question de l'impact économique de cette taxe carbone. Au moment des projections, dont vous citez les chiffres, c'était il y a quelques années, plus récent 2022 je crois, c'était en tenant compte du coût de la vie à ce moment-là, mais on voit que l'inflation est toujours là. Donc est-ce que ces projections sont toujours valides? Pour être précis, quand vous dites la taxe carbone permet de réduire d'un tiers, représente un tiers des réductions d'émissions de gaz à effet de serre, c'était avec des projections qui datent maintenant?
Non, c'est le ministère de l'Environnement, les experts du ministère de l'Environnement ont mis à jour un document qui a été présenté à la fin de l'année passée. Donc, ce tiers-là de réduction des émissions de gaz à effet de serre liées à la tarification carbone, c'est des données très récentes.
Donc, même quand les gens ne peuvent pas payer leur nourriture ou leur loyer, on attend d'eux qu'ils utilisent un peu d'argent pour passer à une thermopompe, par exemple?
Ben, en fait, c'est pourquoi les programmes que nous annonçons, le programme que nous annonçons aujourd'hui et plusieurs autres programmes que nous avons annoncés comme celui pour faire la transition du chauffage à l'huile vers les thermopompes. Le gouvernement fédéral, en Nouvelle-Écosse, en collaboration avec la province, nous allons payer jusqu'à 30 000 $ pour des ménages à faible et moyen revenu pour pouvoir passer d'un chauffage à l'huile, qui est le chauffage le plus dispendieux, le plus polluant et le moins efficace, à des thermopompes qui va permettre à ces gens-là d'épargner au moins 2 000 $ par année sur leur facture d'énergie. Et le gouvernement fédéral, en collaboration avec la province, paye tout 100% du prix de la conversion. Alors, on est là pour aider les ménages à plus faible revenu à faire cette transition-là.
Sorry, you're out of time, but
Thank you. Thank you.
I know you answered two from Radio Canada in French. For English.
Can you repeat your question?
How critical is the 3 cents to the federal government?
Well, I mean, it's not the 3 cents a liter that is critical. It is the fact that, I mean, carbon pricing is a fairly simple economic mechanism. You increase the price on something that you don't want, which is pollution, which will lead people and organization and businesses to have different behaviors. And it's happening in Canada. I mean, when we came into power in 2015, Canada was going to overshoot our 2030 targets by at least 12%. And now we're 7% below our 2005 levels. The difference between the two is the equivalent of removing from our roads 16 million vehicles. Imagine if we added 16 million vehicles in terms of air pollution and climate pollution in Canada. That's what, in part, carbon pricing has allowed us to do. It's not the only measure, but it's the most important and the most efficient measure to fight climate change. Thank you. Merci. Thank you.